Welcome to Special Needs Palace, Faith and Action. For without action, then our faith is dead. My name is Eva Alphonse, a professional in special needs and early childhood development. In this channel, we are creating a society that is informed, inclusive, and updated on matters concerning special needs and disabilities. You wouldn't want to miss on that, so click on the subscription button and click on the notification bell for you to be notified anytime a new video is out. And for now, stay tuned and watch the video up to the end. So in today's video, we're going to look at some of the steps you can take in order to get the best intervention strategies for your child or for an individual who is diagnosed with special needs. Are you just supposed to assume that my child has certain condition, let's say autism, or my child got cerebral palsy? No. You're supposed to take some time and observe your kid thoroughly, let's say about 2 weeks or even 1 week. And this time you're observing this child during the day and during the night. Is the child able to sleep the way it is expected and for the expected hours? Does the child play with others during the day? Do they feed on what you're giving them to feed on, or they're just selective? How does your child operate? So in this observation stage is when you can be able to really identify what your child can do and what your child cannot do, so that even when you're visiting this specialist, you have that, you can give that full observation of what your child is capable and what your child is not capable. If you're asked questions about their daily life and about everything, you are able to answer them fully, because that is what will lead the specialist to get into the correct diagnosis of your child and advise fully on what you're supposed to do. So the first step is observation, where you're noting down the strengths and the weaknesses of your child. This helps you so that when you visit a specialist for a diagnosis, which is step 2, you're able to tell what your child can do and what your child cannot do. Even though the specialist will take some time also to observe the child, but they do not have that enough time with the child as compared to you, who spend the whole day and the whole night with the child. So they might make observation according to what they'll see at that particular time. But when you're given, let's say, an observation sheet, you as a parent, you are able to note down and make the correct observation as per the sheet on what the child can do and what the child cannot do. So you make the diagnosis session more easier for the profession and for the specialists. Step number 3, take time and accept the condition. Healing comes from within, and healing comes when the mind is positive. Everything comes from the mind, so you're supposed to accept the condition first, however much hurting or however much hard it can be. But it is good to accept the condition so that you are working from positive minds. When the mind is positive and the environment of the child also becomes positive, so this speeds up the acquisition of skills that you want to teach this child to acquire, and even the healing process, if at all the condition can be healed. But when you're so depressed, you're so down, this cannot even help you in any way, because you cannot work with this child. Every time you'll be trying to work with this child, you'll be seeing him or her as a burden or as just something that did not happen so well in your life. So it is good to accept the condition first, and after accepting, you'll now create time to work with the child and speed up the acquisition of skills and even their progress in everything that you want them to learn. After finding the correct specialist, start therapy sessions. It is advisable to start therapy sessions as soon as you can, because the earlier the better. These children can acquire so many things, and the conditions can be corrected from early ages. So when you start earlier, it is the best way for the child and even for you as a parent, because you're not going to waste time. You're not going to waste this kid doing nothing, but you're going to start therapy in time and help them acquire the skills that they are supposed to acquire within as their peers and within the stipulated time. And after that, when you've started your therapy sessions, it is now time for you to learn new things. What the therapists are doing, you can also implement the therapy sessions at your home in your own time and at your own comfort, because you spend more time with the baby and you can do more than what the therapists are doing. So you can copy what the therapists are doing and also do it at home with the child. You can also copy materials that are used in therapy. You can buy them from whichever place the therapist buy, although sometimes they can be quite expensive, but you can also make your own at home. In this way, you're helping the child to have more therapy sessions, and the therapy tends to be more intense than when they just meet the therapist, let's say thrice a week or even once a week. So when you're with the child, try to implement what happens with the therapist. Something else to note is that if your child is school going, at least let the teacher be aware of the condition of the child. Do not let just the child to flow with others, because they might not benefit so much, because sometimes they need specialized materials or special well-designed materials that can fit their condition. So let the teacher be aware of the condition of the child first, and in this they can help in creating the necessary materials that can really help these children to bring out the best out of them. For example, if a child has a poor pencil grip, and the teacher might just be wondering why this child have poor pencil grip, and yet maybe these children, their fine motor skills are not so well refined, and they need some extra assistance to help them so that they can improve on their pencil grip. So it is important for you to talk to the teacher and let them understand the condition of the child, so that they can design the best materials and they can just bring out the best out of these children, and they can even create some extra time for them when others maybe are doing something else and this baby is not to do it. So they create some extra time to attend to the child and help them just in a special way, however much they can be in an inclusive school. So talk to the teacher, let them understand the condition, let them design what they can design in order to bring out the best out of these children. And just to know is that if you're so busy and your schedule doesn't allow you to have so much contact with your baby or so much time, you can always employ someone, let's say a helper, like a shadow teacher or another specialist who can be always there with the baby. This helps to increase the number of therapies, because the more hours of therapies, the better for the child. Because when the therapies are so intense, the child tends to acquire the skills more quicker and improve their condition more quicker than when the number of therapies are reduced. So if you're so busy, this person can always come in and step in for you and just have time with your child, so that they can also increase on time of academic skills acquisition and also time for therapy, and also help to monitor closely the child, what they're able to achieve daily or weekly or even monthly, and what they're not able to achieve. This helper also helps the child so that they can have that close contact with someone, and they can open up to someone whenever they are always depressed or they have a certain problem, and you are as a parent, you're not, let's say, near, or you do not have there just that enough time for you and your child. So you're supposed to feel free and have that community that helps you to improve the skills of the child without shying off. And the second last thing that you're supposed to do is to be consistent. Do not start therapy today and you just end there. You remember after a month that you're also supposed to do therapy, and you go back, and after another month you see you're not being consistent. So it will be difficult for this child to acquire the skills that you want them to acquire. It will be difficult for them to improve on their condition and improve on their disorders, because you're not consistent. You know, when you teach them something, they tend to forget very fast. So if you're not consistent, they'll also forget about the therapy and what they have been learning. And the more you exercise muscles, the more they become active, and the more they become to fully operate the way they are expected to operate. So when you start therapy sessions, be consistent in your therapy sessions. Even if sometimes financial constraints may come in, but at least find a way that you can do these therapies, even if it is at home or even at the specialists where you're supposed to do them. As long as you are consistent and you are not giving up anytime. Just be consistent and continue doing what you're supposed to do day in, day out, because we are all working for the best of these children and just to bring out the best out of them. And the last thing to do is to appreciate every milestone that these children acquire, however much small the milestone can be. Let them know that you are appreciating them, and reward every milestone when achieved, because it is not easy. And the more you appreciate them, the milestones, the more they get motivated and get encouraged to do something else that you want them to do. So always appreciate, at least show appreciation, and just be happy that they have acquired what you did not know they can acquire. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you next time in the next video. Don't forget to give the video thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching.